This is Fashion Fridays. Every Friday, we present you with a fashion icon or topic. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Balenciaga. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hey there, Aluxers, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about the Balenciaga fashion empire. Balenciaga has been around since 1919. The Balenciaga fashion house was founded in San Sebastian, Spain, by a man named Cristóbal Balenciaga. Quickly after the first boutique was established, two more branches opened, one in Madrid and one in Barcelona. Balenciaga was the premier fashion line of the time, often seen worn by the aristocracy as well as the Spanish royal family. Through the last century, Balenciaga's reputation has been based on uncompromising standards. The fashion mogul Christian Dior was even quoted as saying that Balenciaga was the master of us all. Balenciaga belongs to the French as a part of Kering, a group of luxury brands including Gucci, that has a market cap of $74.5 billion. $11.5 billion of that belongs to the Kering Group, thanks to Balenciaga being the top-selling and most searched brand of 2017. This gave the company a boost of 49% in 2018, up 27.2% when compared with revenue from 2016. 2018 marks the most profitable year on record. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. But enough with the intro. Let's get to the 15 things you didn't know about Balenciaga. Number 1. Balenciaga was born in Spain but was quickly relocated. Cristóbal Balenciaga became a couture genius at the young age of 11, learning how to sew with the help of his mother. By the time he was 12, he joined a tailoring firm and began professional training. At the age of 24, Cristóbal quickly made a name for himself in San Sebastian, Spain, when he opened the doors to his fashion boutique in 1919. His ultra-modern shapes and bubble skirts quickly became his trademark. The doors of his boutique would remain open for 17 years before turbulent times in the country forced him to close his shop. In the mid-1930s, the Spanish Civil War broke out. As a result, Balenciaga made a change and relocated to Paris, opening his first couture house in August of 1937. It was during this time that he participated in his first fashion show. His creations were heavily inspired by the Spanish Renaissance, and that vaulted him to the top. Number 2. Balenciaga has always been a game changer. In 1947, Christian Dior dominated the scene in women's fashion. His women's fashion lines were all about cinched waists and mid-calf skirts. However, Balenciaga would not follow trends. Being a trailblazer in the fashion industry, Balenciaga chose to go the opposite direction. His women's line focused on box shapes and broad shoulders. He added volume around the waist, and instead of doing a mid-calf style cut, he went a different direction by using an asymmetrical pattern. Some of the most notable pieces of the era are the egg coat, semi-fitted suit, and the peacock tail dress. He wanted to create designs that made women feel beautiful. His mannequins resembled not just one shape, but many. He wanted to prove that any woman, not just one specific size, could look great and feel good in his designs. Number 3. Balenciaga's founder came from humble beginnings. On January 21, 1885, Cristóbal Balenciaga was born in Basque, a small province in Spain. His mother worked as a seamstress for the wealthy and often some of the royal family. Balenciaga would accompany his mother to work. As he did, he began to learn how to sew. After gaining an apprenticeship to a tailor when he was 12 years old, as a young teen, he would gain his first client, and not just any client. Marchioness de Casa Torres, one of the most prominent noblewomen in the town, chose him for her fashion. As a result, she sent him to Madrid to further expand his talent. Balenciaga quickly became known as one of the very few designers who created his pieces with his own hands. His talent, design, and classes inspired some of today's most powerful fashion icons, such as Oscar de la Renta. Number 4. Balenciaga made a wedding dress for the Queen of Belgium in 1960. Balenciaga's impressive skills earned him the moniker of the King of Fashion, and he was dubbed as one of the greatest masterminds of fashion design in his period. He completely reimagined the women's silhouette. He removed the waist and broadened the shoulders. The tunic dress was born in 1955 and would soon evolve into a style of a dress that would take the world by storm. The chemise dress was created in 1957. However, Balenciaga was not finished there. He continued to jump ahead of the game by constantly pushing designs further. By 1960, he created a wedding dress for Fabiola de Moura as she married the King of Belgium. Later, the Queen would donate her dress to the Balenciaga Foundation. Number 5. The sock with sole became the hottest sneaker in fashion. As you might have guessed by the name, the sock with sole is a sneaker. That's right, a sock sneaker. In the latter part of 2017, the trend-setting fashion house once again turned the fashion industry upside down with the introduction of the sock sneaker. Since the release of the sneaker that is bizarrely close to socks, mass-market companies have tried to jump on the bandwagon, creating their own brands. The company Zara created a pair that was dangerously close in resemblance to Balenciaga's at just $70 a pair. However, Balenciaga's speed trainers can never truly be replicated. These sneakers are priced for as little as $500 or as high as $700. Critics have claimed it's basically a $500 pair of socks, but that hasn't hurt the sales. If anything, the speed trainers have only increased in popularity. Number 6. The company was closed for almost 20 years when Cristóbal retired. It comes as no surprise that Cristóbal Balenciaga pushed lines when it came to his fashion house. In the fashion industry in the 50s, it was common practice for designers to release their work to the press no less than 4 weeks before the retail delivery date. However, in 1957, the House of Balenciaga pushed the boundaries by waiting until the day before the clothing line was shipped to stores. This was done to ward off the piracy and copying of his designs. At first, the press resisted, but the founder and his protege stood their ground. In 1968, the Balenciaga house closed when Cristóbal retired. The house would lay dominant for almost 2 decades before the rights were acquired by Jacques Bogart S.A. By October 1987, the House of Balenciaga was revived. Number 7. The Chinese boycott Balenciaga and a French department store, too. In April 2018, Balenciaga and the department store Printemps were targets of a scandal. It was reported that a Chinese customer verbally confronted another customer while they were in line at the department store. The incident rapidly became a social media nightmare when the hashtag #BoycottBalenciaga_discriminates_Chinese had 23 million hits. The video showed the Chinese customer scolding another. The line jumper became defensive, shoving the Chinese woman and threatening physical violence. The Chinese woman's son jumped to her aid and was beaten and knocked to the ground. Soon after, it was reported that a sales clerk intervened and told the Chinese customers to leave the premises. Social media was set ablaze, criticizing the designer and the department store for discrimination. Both companies released press statements immediately apologizing for the incident. Number 8. A Paris Fashion Week exposé was released on Balenciaga models casting unfair treatment. There's no shortage of drama when it comes to the tension surrounding Paris Fashion Week. For the most part, designers and models try to stay out of the drama spotlight. However, in 2017, Balenciaga was shoved into the middle of the spotlight due to the model casting claims. The exposé called out 2 of the company's casting directors, claiming they are serial abusers. Reports for more than 150 girls claim that during casting interviews, they were left for over 3 hours in a dark staircase with no lighting, while the directors left for lunch. While a press statement was released defending the 2 directors, they tried to deflect attention back to Balenciaga, stating that Balenciaga provided us with the casting facility and its senior staff was present and actively involved at all times. They continued to claim that the models didn't even wait for an hour. However, many of the industry's top models took to social media and confirmed the mistreatment. Since the controversy, Balenciaga has released both casting directors. Number 9. They're part of a bigger company. Since the death of the founder and owner in 1972, the Balenciaga house is under the umbrella of the parent company of Kering. Kering specializes in luxury goods and contains some of the most top notable fashion names in the world, such as Gucci, Alexander McQueen, Bottega Veneta, and many more. In a recent study, Balenciaga had taken the #1 spot held by fellow company mate Gucci on the top 10 list of best fashion design companies. While sales totals are not released by Kering, the company has stated that 65% of their consumers are millennials, and that accounts for over 50% of their sales. Number 10. Balenciaga's current most expensive item is a $9,000 coat. In March of 2018, Balenciaga introduced their newest looks from their fall collection. One look that caught everyone's attention for a variety of reasons was their new oversized layered parka coat. Now, it doesn't sound that glamorous, and it actually doesn't look that glamorous either, but it does come with an extravagant $9,000 price tag. The coat is made of several different layers that makes the wearer look as if they are super bundled up in multiple shirts and coats. It's a combination of a jersey hoodie, a plaid shirt, a drawstring hood, and a fleece shirt with a couple of other things thrown in. If that kind of coat isn't quite your style, you might want to check out their competitor in our video, The 15 Things You Didn't Know About Burberry. Just click in the upper right-hand corner to check it out. And Alexers, if footwear is more your style, we talk about pricey shoes in our list of the top 10 most expensive sneakers in the world. Click in the upper right-hand corner to check that one out. Number 11. Balenciaga was named the hottest fashion brand of 2017. It should come as no surprise when fashion houses go to extremes in fashion. Cristóbal Balenciaga was a trendsetter for his time, and he became even more notable when he opened his first fashion house in Paris back in 1937. Now, almost 80 years later, the two men in charge of the house are no different. Demna Gvasalia, the creative director, and Cedric Charbit, the chief executive, continue to push the house further. Gvasalia brought radical brands to the house just as Balenciaga did. His works focused on elevated streetwear such as the Pantashoe, a 1980s spandex-inspired legging with a stiletto heel attached. In November 2017, Balenciaga was named the hottest brand in fashion. Since taking the helm, Charbit has seen the company have a 50% increase. Number 12. A New York souvenir company is suing Balenciaga. One of Gvasalia's brands has become the target of a lawsuit. City Merchandise Inc. filed a lawsuit against the company for copyright infringement of a tote that can be found pretty much in any souvenir shop throughout the city. The suit states that the tote from Balenciaga looks nearly identical to the souvenir tote. For over 30 years, City Merchandise has provided various collectibles for one of the most visited cities in the world. Balenciaga is selling their tote for close to $2,000, while the nearly identical souvenir can be purchased almost anywhere in New York for only $20. This could open a variety of questions and concerns for the House of Balenciaga if the suit should go to trial. As of right now, there have been no reports of any results concerning the charges. Number 13. Nicole Kidman's wedding dress was made by Balenciaga. In 2006, actress Nicole Kidman had a fairy tale wedding with Australian country singer Keith Urban. The gown Nicole wore contributed to the fairy tale feel with its romantic lace and one-shoulder short-sleeve design. The dress was made by Balenciaga designer Nicolas Gasquire, who also created a long veil to complete the look. She later lent the dress to the Powerhouse Museum in Australia for their exhibition on Australian wedding fashion, which featured more than 60 examples of fashion worn by Australian celebrities for their weddings. Number 14. Balenciaga finished his last design in 1972. Cristóbal Balenciaga retired and closed his company in 1968. After years of providing some of the most amazing creations for Audrey Hepburn, the Spanish royal family, and many more, he closed his company and called it quits. However, he returned to the fashion scene in March of 1972 to create a one-of-a-kind wedding dress for socialite Maria del Carmen Martinez Bourdieu. Unfortunately, it would be his last design because one of the most iconic fashion houses in the world passed away just 2 weeks later. Number 15. The company redefined haute couture and turned fashion into art. From a single shirt that doubles as a second shirt to $900 sneakers, Balenciaga has become known for its avant-garde designs. They thrive on crafting couture and the kinds of beauty that are unusual. They continue to make giant leaps in the industry, pushing boundaries and designs further than ever before. They have produced a line of anti-fashion streetwear that caused many skeptics to raise their eyebrows, leading to the question, is this truly something that Cristóbal would have wanted? Apparently the numbers don't lie, because as of May of 2018, Balenciaga became Kering's top brand. It was named as the top-selling, most searched brand of 2017. And there you have it, Aluxers, 15 things you didn't know about Balenciaga. Now before you go, we're curious. What fashion design has influenced you the most? Let us know in the comments. And for being a true Aluxer and making it all the way to the end, as always, you get a bonus fact. Here it is, number 16. His last creation had over 10,000 pearls. When his final creation was made for a royal wedding, Cristóbal was so detail-oriented, he didn't finish crafting the dress until just 2 days before the wedding, claiming he was unhappy with it. Balenciaga's design boasted over 10,000 pearls, and more than 20 spools of silver thread were used to create this one-of-a-kind piece of art. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.